What's up guys, R13 here and welcome to another Gunpla review. So we have done the unboxing and the time-lapse build. Now let's review the unit here. So this unit is called KURENAI MUSHA Red Warrior Amazing. So this unit actually made its first appearance at the final episode of Gunpla Build Fighters Try, piloted by Lady Kawaguchi. Now there are other interesting facts about this unit here, and this isn't just based off the Amazing Red Warrior. This is actually based from a manga series, as far as I'm aware, which is called Cho Senshi Gundam Boy, and the SC that this was based off is KURENAI MUSHA Red Warrior. So I don't actually know what modifications this was added into the KURENAI MUSHA. But one thing that actually stood out the most is actually the golden hair here in the back that you guys will actually see momentarily. And this is actually highly reminiscent of Denial Gundam, which is actually quite interesting. Now, aside from that, there's actually other weaponries that this unit actually have, which is actually quite interesting. Now, the first weapon that you guys will be looking at is the forehead here. That is like a fin. This is actually called the kunai that can be used as a weapon. Now the next weapon that this actually have, which is a defensive, is the wheel armor here. And then the next one is the famed sword bin noir, which is more like a samurai sword, which is currently attached at the back. And then last but not the least is the Hyper Bazooka / Gatling gun right over here. And then last but not the least, the Musha cross cannon, which we will be incorporating different parts of the Musha, KURENAI MUSHA here, which is actually going to be very interesting. So what you guys are looking at are the out of the box build. I've done little panel lining here, and I've actually used most of the stickers, as you guys can see. I've only left out the sword and the 3 sets of eyes here. So you guys can see this is the out of the box build. I'm actually going to be painting this right away to give this a really good look. I actually like the design. This is actually one of the few exceptions that I have for SDs. I don't build SDs much at all. And this one here, I'm looking forward to its full potential. Now, up next is we're going to go in great details all the weaponries and the transformation. Then afterwards, we can do some mobility tests and some of the issues this unit have. Well, there's so much to cover here, so we will make this as short as possible. Now, let's talk about the weaponries here first. Now, the first weapon that I'm actually going to show you guys is the famed sword noir. Okay, I apologize. I really don't know how to pronounce it properly, and I'm not too happy about that part. So we'll just call this a sword. So the sword here is actually installed at the back of the skirt, and it can be removed easily. Now I decided not to put the stickers here due to the fact that it's just gonna ruin the blade itself, and this is the sticker that we have here. As you guys can see, I didn't use them all, and I left the eyes intact, and 2 stickers in part of the waist here. So, but we'll talk about that later. So this is the sword Benoit. And as you guys can see, there's some details here, and there's some slots here that you guys can see the weapon. You pull this out, and this is the sword itself, just plain yellow. You'll actually have to paint this. And my advice is, if you're gonna hand paint it, make this as thin as possible. Otherwise, you'll have issues installing this. And now the next part is the kunai. Now the kunai is actually installed in the forehead here on each side. Each one is actually slanted a little bit, as you guys can see here, and this gives a V-fin look. You can actually remove this easily, and you can actually install this. There you go. And now we'll just remove that here. Now the next part is the wheel armor. Now this is the wheel armor here. Really not that bad. It's actually kind of nice. It actually rotates also. And now the next part is the Hyper Bazooka / Gatling cannon, which is this one here. And what's nice about this is you can actually put this either left or right. And oops, very easily. And then you can switch this from cannon mode to Gatling mode just by removing this piece here. And there's actually a slot here, so it won't rotate. And all you have to do is just turn. There's some part here. And there you go, Gatling mode. And now there's another weapon here that I'm actually going to show you guys in a bit. This weapon is called the Musha Cross Cannon that actually uses parts of the KURENAI MUSHA here. Now, the other weapon that this unit actually have is the common Gatling in the forehead here, which is actually quite nice. Now, before I decided to mix things up a bit. I think I mentioned that already. Well, doesn't matter. We'll be doing a mobility test here right away, and we'll talk about some of the issues here, like the nubs and the seam lines. Okay, so as you guys can see, the details aren't actually that bad. There's actually a lot of potential here, and you can actually paint this up. It is actually highly advisable to customize this in your own color scheme, which is actually quite nice. I mentioned that already a couple of times, but yeah, that's how impressed I am in this unit here. As you guys can see here, this is themed like a samurai style unit, and so you can actually paint some fire here, black color scheme if you want to. Just look at the details here. This unit is specifically made to be painted. Yes. Wow, just look at that. Now, the next part here are the seam lines and the nubs. Now, there's always going to be seam lines and nubs, and I've actually left some intentionally. As you guys can see over here, there's the nubs there, nubs. And the other part that you guys will notice are there's some gaps there, but they designed this really well, which is actually, I'm really impressed. Now, as you guys can see here, just wow. Now, certain pieces actually kind of fell off, but I was kind of testing this out earlier, so don't worry about this. There you go. Now, as you guys can see, the seam lines and the nubs here, really nice. Now, it's just very basic color scheme here. There's stickers. I've used a lot of them, but I didn't use them all. But yeah, just paint this, highly advisable. You guys will like this unit. I'm already impressed as is. Even just doing the basic color scheme here, just give this a little bit of detail. This unit will stand out in your SD collection. Okay, so the next part that I actually want to do, since I'm actually already taking this piece by piece, is the mobility test. Now, the mobility test is actually quite simple. We'll start off from top to bottom here. Now, with or without armor, it's going to be the same in my opinion, which I'll just show you guys here. Now, we're going to start off with the head here. Now, the head can actually turn really nice, but then you keep on moving it, it will fall off. Now, I did forget to mention to you guys, after the mobility test, I'm gonna do the transformation for the Musha Cross Cannon, and I'll show you guys a little something about this SD unit here that you guys will like. Another detail also, so keep at it, okay? Now, the next part is the arm here. And oops, that's part of the transformation, just a heads up. And as you guys can see, it kind of fell off there. But a little bit of clear nail polish should do the trick. And there's some good mobility. And this can actually turn, but you got to be careful also. Now there's actually limited mobility on SD kits, just giving you guys a heads up. But yeah, let's just, it can turn to a certain degree, but that's it. So it's the hand. Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to look like when the wheel armor is on. Now let's just put this back there. Now the next part is the waist here. It can kind of turn a little bit, and it's actually a poly cap here, specifically designed for SD. And now the next part is the legs, poly caps again. Again, clear nail polish if it's loose on your part. Now it can definitely turn to certain angles, but it definitely got its limitation. And for the feet there, it can kind of move. Now there's one thing you guys will notice is that slot there underneath. You can use a basic action base to pose it. There you go. Now let's remove this piece here. Okay, and here. And that's it for the mobility test. Now I've taken this apart, as you guys have seen, and the next part that I'm going to show you guys is the next detail for this here. This is without the outer armor, this piece here, and the kunai. Now there's another one that I'm going to show you guys that will require me using a side cutter. Now it's going to be a quick explanation here. Okay, so this is actually another armor also that you can remove, but it's actually gonna fall apart. So the best way is actually just use, you're not actually gonna, just use a little bit of force. My advice is use a flat flyer to make sure you don't actually damage it. Whew, that's not easy actually. There you go. As you guys can see, I removed it easily. Okay, come on now. Oh, that was not easy at all. And there you go. Looks like, kind of looks like a Hayako Shiki. Yep. Okay, let's set that aside. And as you guys can see, this unit actually wears a visor that you can actually remove easily. I've used a sticker. And there you go. And then this is without the armor, and you can actually switch the eyes easily, and you'll actually have to remove this piece here. Yeah, and there's the slot there. Okay, now let's do the transformation for the cannon here. Okay, before we begin the transformation, there's one more piece that you're gonna need, which is the back piece here. This piece is specifically, there you go, very easy to remove. Let's put the samurai sword, the sword back in its proper place there. There you go. And now we can start the transformation. This should be very simple. As you guys can see here, this is part of the headpiece, part of the backpack, the wheel armor, the cannon, the shoulder piece. Just gonna be very easy to build here. You can do this step by step if you want to. Now you can either convert, now for the cannon here, you can convert this to Gatling cannon. We'll choose the Gatling for this one for now. So let's start off. First things first, this piece here, there's a slot here that you're gonna need, and that's how it should be positioned. Okay. Should slide in properly. There you go. Now the next piece is the shoulder armor here. Should be in this slot here. Okay. There you go. Now the next piece is the wheels. Okay. And last but not the least is the headpiece here. There's a slot here, and should slide. There you go. That's what this looks like, the cannon Gatling form. Now let's just switch this to cannon form, which is much better. There you go. really nice. Not bad, huh? Now, I don't know what this ring is for, to tell you the truth, but I guess it's part of the finesse or just the overall design frame. Okay, so let's start tearing this apart, shall we, and put this back together again. Well, there you have it, guys. It took me about a minute and 2 seconds. I was kind of aiming for a minute or under a minute, but oh well. Now, let's get straight to the kit itself. Now, the downside of this unit here is there are limited mobility, but on the good side is gives you opportunity to learn from this unit here. You can actually provide this to your kid, and remember, parental guidance is necessary to get them involved into the SD world, because this kit is actually very easy to do. Now, on another plus side is the details. You will actually have to paint this unit to bring out its full potential. It's actually really nice, as you guys can see. Just the details are there. All you have to do is just paint it the way you want, and you'll have your own custom Kurenai Musha. Yeah. And your kid will get exposed into the Gunpla world if you wanted them to. Now, the price is actually quite nice for the SD, 1,000 yen. And remember, price varies depending on location. Now, good mobility, nubs and seam lines are well placed, but you guys can still see them, so remember that. Okay, so this is actually a very simple build. Took me about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, less than that. Yeah, so this is actually definitely worth getting. I can highly advise this. And special thanks to Sci-Fi Anime Montreal for providing me with this unit to review. You guys can check out their Facebook page and website on the description below. I actually got some of my kits, as mentioned during my unboxing, while I was in Montreal last year. And they actually have really great selections from Gunplas to other plastic model kits. They even provide tools, materials, and they actually have a physical store in Montreal, so you guys can check out their website. And also, they even provide P Bandai at a really good price. There you go. That is all the time I got, guys. So thank you guys for watching this video. Much appreciated, Sci-Fi Anime. And give this video a thumbs up. And give me a suggestion on what you think a good color scheme this should have. For me, I'm planning on just giving this the basic look. I'm just going to paint the yellow gold. Just bring this to life. Okay, this is R13. Have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. Signing out for this video. And again, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I'll see ya.